Hello and welcome to this tutorial in After Effects. I'm Luisa Winters. Today I would like to continue speaking about temporal interpolation, accelerations and decelerations. And we are going to be using the graph editor for this. Right now I'm going to exit the graph editor. This is how we left it last time. I'm going to exit the graph editor and I'm going to erase, I'm going to erase the entire layer because I want to work with a new layer now. And I'm going to create a bar. So I'm going to grab my rectangle tool. I'm going to have a fill that is going to be solid. More on these shape layers later. I'm going to make this red. And I'm going to click and drag to create my bar, my rectangle. I want you to notice where the anchor point is. I'm just going to release there and notice that now I have another anchor point right in the middle. So if I click this and I look at the anchor point, let me change tools here, you're going to see that by default, my anchor point moved to the middle of my shape layer, even though it wasn't there. That's a preference, and when we talk about shape layers, I'm going to go over that. But know that that is a preference. And you can find the preferences under After Effects, Preferences, and this one is going to be under General. In fact, I'm just going to go ahead and show it to you now. After Effects, Preferences, General, and it's this one that says Center Anchor Point in New Shape Layers. And this one is not bad. So I'm going to click OK, and now I'm going to keyframe the rotation of this layer. So this is how we're going to keyframe the rotation of the layer. I just want to see rotation. I don't want to see anything else. So I'm going to select the layer and press the letter R for rotation. R for rotation. So A for anchor point, P for position, S for scale, R for rotation, and T, the letter T for opacity, because it used to be called transparency. So don't press O for opacity, but T instead. Alrighty, so R for rotation. I'm going to keyframe right at the beginning. I'm going to move to, all the way to the right. I'm going to zoom out, and this one is, 2 minutes, 45 seconds, something like that. So longer than what I want it to be. So here we go. I'm going to have this go around, 100 times. So notice that rotation has two values. The first value is a full rotation, so full revolution. And the second value is for parts of a rotation or revolution, and it's measured in degrees. So if you were to type 360 degrees, it will give you 1 revolution. So if you just change it globally, you're not going to see the rotation, but this is not changed globally. This is actually keyframed. So I'm going from point A to point B, or rather from value A to value B in these two keyframes. I'm going to select them and I'm going to go to the graph editor. And now I don't want to see the speed graph because I know that it's constant. I want to see the value graph. And for that, I click on this icon to the right of the eyeball right here in the graph editor. And I'm going to click on Edit Value Graph. And of course, I see this line going from the first value to the second value. Well, I'm going to click on the word rotation to select my keyframes, and now I'm going to easy ease them. So I'm going to press F9. So F9, and as soon as I do that, I see the curve. But this time I see the curve in the value graph. So I'm going to take and I'm going to deselect these keyframes, and I'm going to adjust the curve of this last one here. So notice what is happening now. I'm going to be changing the value very, very, very little, and then it's going to speed up. And it's actually going to go backwards for a little bit. If I play it, there it is. It's going really, really slow. Actually, let me change this I'm changing the value now. So if I move this one like a lot higher, I can do yay, and now it's going to move. You can see it going. It's very slow. Very slow, and it's going to start speeding up. Pretty cool, right? So just 2 keyframes, and we're absolutely changing these values. We're changing the rate of interpolation. We're changing how it's going from the first value to the second value. All right, so that's still taking a little too long. Let me go ahead and move these keyframes closer together so that I can show you this a little bit faster. And one thing that I have not done is add a little bit of motion blur. That's important because this stick is not going to look too good if we don't add motion blur. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to add it here at the comp level, so at the timeline level, and then here at the layer level. And as soon as I do that, see this? It's like, oh, okay. Let me slow it down a little bit. There you go. And there you go. All righty. And here's what we have. Now it's a little too fast. It's going to be slowing down. You can see it is slowing down, and now it's going to reverse direction, and it's going to speed up. And you can see that we are accomplishing all that with 2 keyframes. So I want to end this tutorial by simply telling you, you are in control on how the keyframes interpolate. Changing direction again. And it's simply you're in control of that. You're in control of when it interpolates, how it accelerates, how it decelerates. And you are in control of this right here in the graph editor. All right, this brings us to the end of this tutorial. Please don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.